system itself are not just ideas, they are structures that are placed in your timing, whether weekly, whether daily. They are things you slot into your time in order to be able to achieve them. Because if it is not in your time, you are rarely going to achieve them. You are rarely going to see them in operation in your life. I will be sharing a story behind this particular book. This is Impact Minded. I made use of some of this system and I'll be sharing with us. I remembered years ago I was planning to write this book. I only had ideas. Of course, I was telling myself I need to get this book done. I need to write chapter 1, I need to write chapter 2 because I was doing a 9 to 5 job. The 9 to 5 job was not even actually 9 to 5. Am I saying 9 to 5? 8 to 5. What am I going to do? So I made use of two major things which I'm going to talk about. Number one is I designed my environment correctly. One of the things systems will take from you is that it would not give you your bread and you still have it the same way. No, like some people will say you can't eat your bread and still have it. Yeah, you will have to deny yourself of some things. Some things will be your priority at some point in time when you want to achieve one thing or the other. So you have to deny yourself of other things. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. I believe we've been learning and it has been an extensive one. We've looked at how to make your plans so that you won't have a failed plan, and also we looked at system that works. I really want to appreciate a lot of engagement on the comment section. It has really been amazing. Thank you so much for following, and I believe that you've been learning a lot. So this time around, we are going to press further into the system itself, right? And I'll also be sharing a personal story so that we can actually be able to relate how this thing works. It has worked for me, it is still working for me, and I believe it is going to work for you, right? It is important we understand that systems only work when they are scheduled. You don't just say you want to do all of these things, it has to be slotted into your time. System itself are not just ideas, they are structures that are placed in your timing, whether weekly, whether daily. There are things you slot into your time in order to be able to achieve them. Because if it is not in your time, you are rarely going to achieve them. You are rarely going to see them in operation in your life. So you need to slot them into your time, right? And I'll be sharing a story behind this particular book. This is Impact Minded. And this Impact Minded, by the grace of God, is my first book, right? My first book. And I made use of some of this system. If you want to get the book is actually available. You can also drop it on the comment section if you really want to get the book, and I believe it's going to help you. So now, I remembered years ago I was planning to write this book. I only had ideas and of the book. Okay, this is how I want this book to go. These are the things I want to put in place, and of course, I was telling myself I need to get this book done. I need to write chapter 1. I need to write chapter 2 because uh, I was trying to establish that book before a particular year. But throughout that year, the year ran out and I was unable to achieve that. So fast forward to the time whereby I was working, I was doing a 9 to 5 job. The 9 to 5 job was not even actually 9 to 5. Am I saying 9 to 5? 8 to 5. So the 8 to 5 job was not actually 8 to 5. Sometimes it is 8 to 6, 8 to 7, right? I'm talking about 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., right? I need to focus on these things. What am I going to do? So I made use of two major things which I'm going to talk about. Number one is I designed my environment correctly. I designed my environment correctly. And what were the things I put in place? I realized that every time I step out to go to work, that's around 8 a.m. Of course, if you're in Lagos, if you know Lagos, Nigeria, you don't step out 1 hour to the time. You can be rest assured traffic will delay you and you will have to get to work late. So I step out even early before that time, and then getting to work, I'm already clouded with a lot of things to do. And then I'm closing around 7 p.m. I'm thinking of getting home just to get some rest, get something to eat, and just go and sleep. And doing that for a couple of months, I realized I'm not going to achieve anything. Because even the Saturday I think I have, sometimes I don't even have that Saturday. So how on earth do I want to write this book? I have to slot in a system into my time. And then you must understand that one of the things systems will take from you is that it would not give you your bread and you still have it the same way. No, no. Like some people will say, you can't eat your bread and still have it. Yeah, you will have to deny yourself of some things. Some things will be your priority at some point in time when you want to achieve one thing or the other. So you have to deny yourself of other things. So, like I said, every time I get to my always tired. So what do? I have to tell myself, okay, after you close from work, you are going to stay 1 hour extra in order to get this book written. So staying 1 hour extra, I would have that time to do what? To come up with some things I want to slot into the book. And I decide to do that maybe 3 times in a week, right? So every time I'm done with my job at work, the next thing is I start writing this book. I start compiling together, start putting together. Of course, if you want to write book, you can't just write what is on your head. You need to make research, do a lot of research, read some other books, be sure that what you are putting there is facts and figures that people need to see, right? So I started doing that. Every time I ensure that my timing after work is dedicated to writing this book. That was how I was able to redesign my environment correctly to be able to help me achieve this. I don't know, maybe you are also there, you are thinking, I don't want to do this. Of course, I would have really loved to just go home straight, but I know once I get home, I'll be tired. I will be tired and I won't achieve that. So it denied me of some things of, okay, the pleasure of going home with my friends, and the pleasure of going on with someone that has a car, and I feel like, oh, I want to go with you because I can't go with them. Right? So the same thing, look at your life, look at those things you want to achieve. What are the things you need to give out in order to achieve those things, and you put it in place, right? So I believe you understand that small changes makes a big difference, because I tell you, I was able to write this book. That was one of the things I put in place. So sometimes productivity is not about discipline, it is about redesigning your environment correctly. I know you are disciplining yourself, but you also need to look at your environment. What do I need to put in place? All right. The second one, right, which I will be sharing with us, is protecting focus. Protecting focus. Now you have redesigned your environment. It is important to also understand that you need to protect focus. I know you are focused. I know you are disciplined. You can get things done easily, but there are things you need to put in place that would also enhance whatever you have in plan, which is removing distraction. You want to protect focus. You also want to remove distraction. So I remembered one of the things I also put in place was this particular system, protecting my focus. I know I want to read. I want to make research in order to come up with this book. So what did I do? I decided to take myself away from every form of distraction. I decided most of the times I turn off my phone, right? Most of the times, even if my phone is dead, I decide not to charge it because it won't help me at that point in time. Because a little notification from there, a little beep from there causes distraction. Every notification pulls you away from attention, because the moment you hear the message, oh, let me check this, oh, let me check that, oh, let me check this, or peradventure your research is going to take place on the YouTube. Oh, you have to be very careful, because a whole lot of things you are seeing there, maybe some of the things you've been looking for, all of a sudden you just see it just scroll down on you and say, oh, click me, click me, click me. And then from there you are clicking, from there you are clicking. Before you know it, 2 hours is already gone, and you're asking yourself, what have I achieved? Right? You need to protect your focus. Many people want deep progress, but they allow constant distraction. They allow constant distraction. You must have a focus zone to achieve what you want to achieve. That focus zone, no distraction. You don't need to bring your phone if you don't need it. Sometimes you say you just want to put your phone off, and before you know it, something will be telling you, check your message, check your message, check your message. From there, you are distracted. So you need to have a focus zone. Phone is off, no distraction, just the work in your front, just the system in your front, just that particular thing you want to achieve. At some point in time when I'm not yet in my focus zone, right? So if I have anything coming to mind, I just write it down on the jotter, just write it down on the jotter. So around me, you can find pieces of jotters, simply because as I'm remembering this, I'm just writing it down. Because when I get to my focus zone, I might decide not to make use of my phone. So these things I've written down in pieces are the things I will bring together, and then I'll start bringing together, and I'll come up with what I want to come up with. So you must know what works for you, right? And you don't have to deceive yourself, because it is not about the length of time you are spending. It's about how consistent you are every time in achieving your results. I know you want to tell me, oh, I just need just one day. I'm just going to get everything done. No, you can't always get everything done in just one day. You need to create a consistent system that works for you. Consistency is key, is even much more prominent than having a lengthy period of time to achieve what you want to do. So I believe these two things are powerful and they are going to help you. Number one, which I mentioned, you need to redesign your environment. You need to protect your focus. These two things are important and they are powerful. And I believe you are going to make use of it. And maybe you are making use of it and you have results, you have testament about it. You can also drop on the comment section so that we can really be sure that there are people listening, there are people following, and there are people putting them into practice. Once again, if you want to purchase the book, you can just drop it on the comment section, right? And we are going to get across to you. Impact Minded is one book you want to read. It speaks about relationship, and not just relationship alone, but the efficacies, right, of relationship, why it is important, why you need to understand relationship, and what it's going to do for you going forward. Right. Thank you so much once again for joining this section. See you in the next episode.